Holy cow, what a season it's been for the Baker women's wrestling. Currently having 7 national qualifiers is amazing. So, ladies, kind of talk me through what that looks like.
Johanna Carrasco, I'm a senior here and I wrestle 180 weight class. For me, I think I really started prepping kind of like early January. Once I kind of was fortunate enough to get into the rankings, then I kind of knew I had a real good shot of going to conference and competing there. And so from there, it was more of just like fine-tuning my wrestling, how I can get better at my own skills.
Madeline Stone, I'm freshman and I wrestle 207. For me, the week before conference, I was coming back from the flu and a knee injury, so I was just getting back in the room. Mm-hmm. I was just trying to build up my conditioning as much as I could because my lungs were just like shot from the flu that I had. So I was just wrestling with coaches, trying to recover and get back to like wrestling on an injury and seeing how that feels and everything. So.
And Haley Crossland, I am a sophomore and I wrestle 160. I had to miss the first half of the season from an injury. I wasn't competing the first half of the season, just kind of like working on gaining my strength back and just overall conditioning. And so a lot of my preparation also happened in like January of like getting my conditioning back, getting my strength back in my leg, and like just getting that muscle memory back, feeling good on the mat again. And then really like leading up week of conference and like getting closer to conference, it was more of like mentally preparing myself and like getting in that good like headspace.
We are also now joined by Miss Aaliyah Sath, who wrestles 131. Aaliyah, what did going into conference look like?
I would definitely say is reducing stress factors, like getting enough sleep, making sure my homework is done, keeping my weight down, being disciplined. Like, I chose a weight class where I had to cut weight and be disciplined, but it's also a good balance in between. Like, I can still eat what I want, but in moderation, so I think that's good, and I feel strong at this weight class. My preparation is keeping weight down is a really big thing for me because it's easy for me to jump back up and then have to cut it back down, and I didn't want to do that for conference. I just wanted to relax the night before. I learned a lot from last year because last year I had these big weight cuts where I had gained like 10, 11, 12 pounds after the tournament. Mm-hmm. But this year I was like, I'm going to stay within like 5 pounds, 4 pounds. And I think that's a good,
but yeah.
Because kind of conference is not like one match you're done, like that's kind of decided. Kind of walk me through what conference looks like as soon as you start warm up, as soon as you hit the mat, kind of what does that look like for you guys?
So it's a little different for each weight class depending on how many allocations you have to go to nationals. So for me, we had 8 allocations in my weight class. So I was pretty confident. That was a little confidence booster that if I won like a couple matches, I probably had a good shot of getting into the national tournament. So I knew like going into my first match, I just had to win in advance, and then I fell onto the backside. So competing there, I knew it was going to be more girls. My weight class is pretty stacked. We have a lot of good girls. So I knew it was going to be just good competition all around. So kind of preparing yourself mentally for like 6 hard minutes no matter what.
Mm-hmm. I had a little bit of a unique conference experience. There was only 5 people in my bracket, but a lot of us were good and ranked. So there was 3 allocations. There was supposed to be 6 girls, but 1 girl dropped. So we had 3 allocations for 5 people. So the tournament started at 9 a.m. and I didn't wrestle until 1. So I was just kind of waiting around to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my weight class had 4 allocations. And I mean, a lot of, like Joe said, a lot of my conference, like preparation day up was a lot of like mental, like getting mentally prepared, getting in a good headspace. Like I had to talk to the coaches a lot about just like helping to get myself into a good headspace, and they helped to like boost my confidence and help me to know like that I should have faith in myself when I wrestle, and just to go out and like do what I know I can do and just do the best that I can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my weight was hard too. Like I think there was a full 16-man bracket. I don't know, but it was pretty stacked. But
yeah.
I mean, 131, I think, like, the middleweights are always stacked, so.
So explain an allocation for me. Like, how far in advance before conference do you know how many allocations are in your weight class? Kind of, do you know going in, or do you kind of figure out day of?
It's so NAIA ranks the top 20 girls in each weight class, and it's all conferences, and then they separate them into conferences, and so if you're in the top 17 out of 20, and you're also in our conference, what's our conference?
Heart of America.
In that conference, then that means you have an allocation.
Yes. So, the allocations will come out like the week before conference, and so some of us like to know what spots we have, and some of us don't. So it's more of on like a personal basis if he decides to tell you that, if that's something you want to know. So, but you can find them online. So it's more of just like mentally if that's gonna like do something to you. But you can find them out online. So then you know going into it like what shot you have.
So, again, you ended up you finished 7th.
Yeah.
So you didn't make nationals right then and there. So kind of walk me through the emotions and kind of your thought process when you found out you ended up making it.
I might cry right now because, I might cry right now. So, like, after the tournament, my coach was like, he was trying to tell me, like, I think I was, like, the number 6 wild card, but he didn't tell me that until, like, after I got the bid. He's like, yeah, like, you were submitted in the top 10, so I would have positive thoughts, like, keep thinking positive and just have hope. And he was like, Aaliyah, like, you're so hardworking and just, you made a lot of improvement, and you've got better every tournament, so that's really all that matters. And then on Tuesday, when we found out, like, who got the bids, I didn't think I was gonna like get a bid because it was like top 10 in the country, and I was like, that's a lot convinced number. But they made me stay after practice, and I was really nervous, so I just kind of like sat there because I was like, I don't want to stay here. But they made me stay, and Haley was looking at like on the website, she's like, Aaliyah, like they all got so excited, and then she's like, you got the bid. And I, like, started crying. Like, like, bawling. Because I was like, dang, like, I really made it. And, just, like, this November, I had a coach that passed. And he always, like, okay, I'm gonna cry. But, I just remembered that he was like, like, you need to make nationals so we can, like, take a picture together and just... I think, like, that's crazy, like, I made it. No, he's not here anymore, so. Yeah.
So kind of, we're a week out from nationals. What is kind of things that you learned in conference, or from your conference masters that you're like, okay, these are things I'm going to work on. These are strengths or weaknesses I'm going to continue to work on to ready yourself for nationals?
I think for me, at this point in the season, like, your wrestling's your wrestling, and you're not going to really be, like, learning new things or trying to, like, change anything in major ways. So really just fine-tuning the little things that can make a big difference in the end. But for me specifically, I think the week of conference, like, my body was just really sore and beat up. So this week I'm really focused on kind of, like, getting my sleep and eating properly, drinking a lot of water. So just, like, little things that can play a big role in my wrestling but aren't, like, wrestling specific.
I would have to piggyback on that, what Joe said. There's not much you can do, like, on the mat to drastically change how you're going to wrestle. So I think it's important to focus on outside the mat where you, like, can just prep your body to the best that it can be to, like, for me, it's, like, eating vegetables and fruit, which I do a lot, but, like, I also like sweets. But I drink a lot of water is something that I prioritize a bunch.
Yeah. I mean, my answer is going to be very, very similar to what they said. It's like, and like even practicing like this week, I've been doing like the same moves that I've done all season, but it's just like tweaking like the small little things that I might be doing, like one small part of a move wrong, or just changing something could make it more efficient. So just kind of that right now, and then a lot of, like they said, like body recovery, taking care of my body, and just making sure I'm doing all the right things outside of the mat, keeping my stress low, staying on top of my schoolwork so that doesn't become a problem, and just, taking care of my body, resting, and doing the recovery and rehab that I need to do for my body.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I like to rest, yes, but I also, I don't change anything about my training. I just, if that, I work harder, and I like to get extra workouts in. I think that's a big part of my training is doing extra workouts, and for me it's a confidence booster. I worked harder than this